Great. Looks like I have something. I'm here, but I can't hear you. Is that because I wasn't talking, or is it all good now? Okay, good. Um, awesome. I got a Q&A. The goal of today, by the way, is just to get you to try our software. I'm going to just be really honest. I want you to try our software. So I'll kind of tell you that. But anyway, at the end, I'll leave time for questions. You got a raised hand. I'm not sure. This is only my first webinar. So Andrew, let me see if I can get you so you can talk. Hold on a second. Allow to talk. What you got, Andrew? You should be able to unmute, by the way.
Yeah, just here to see what it is you got to offer.
All right. Good. That actually worked. Excellent. I it's interesting. This is my first webinar after yesterday. I did one, but it was a practice run. So today it'd be interesting. Um, now, how do we then lower the hand? Anyway, awesome. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to kind of show you something really wild. So hopefully I'm going to blow your mind. Those of you who are here, tell me. Let's just blow up the chat a little bit for me. Tell me where you're from. Just give me where are you guys all hailing from? I'm in California, Hollister, little town in the country. Awesome. I've seen a couple of central. I don't see a lot of east. I see a lot of East Coasters or Eastern. There's some central. All right, all right. Well, I welcome all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. I grew up in Michigan, but I'm a California boy. All right. Well, I'm going to kind of do a quick intro. So, my name's Todd. I go by Coach Todd usually because I was a coach for 20 years. I coach soccer, and what I like to do and show you today is something that you probably have never thought of, and that's what I would like to be showing. So, think of it this way. Instead of you going out and calling all of these people, I mean, what is the first thing that we have to do as agents? We buy a list, or we get a list, or we find some way to get anything. I've got a quick question. I'm going to try to answer if you raise your hand. Go ahead. Go ahead, Russ. What do you got? You can unmute and ask your question. All right, I'll keep going, assuming that maybe he's. Oh, what we'll do is I'm going to show you something that does some things differently. Instead of you having to go out and call all these people, what we're going to be able to do is say, how about if I fill up your calendar instead? So I'm going to show you a couple of hidden nuggets here. The first thing I'll show though is your agent AI. This is where we start. What we do is we clone your voice. So for instance, if you go in here, this is my voice. I actually use default George on this, but what we can do is I'm going to just trash this and show you how it works. Um, what we'll do here is I'm going to go ahead and start recording. I can use Sarah, or I could use my George, which is I'm going to be using him only because I don't want to clone my voice. It won't work while I'm doing a demo here. The microphone gets hijacked. So now the first thing is I've now cloned my voice, really. And now what I want to do is I want to call myself. Well, if I'm going to call myself, don't I need a script? Well, that's right, I need a script. So let's go ahead and do a script. So if I go to my scripts, I've created one, but I've created a bunch actually. But what I'm going to do is this is my default, but I'm going to show you how we create a script. So everything I'm going to show you today is about how you can be activated within an hour. So I'm going to make a claim that to all of you, and I'm going to send you the link for the 14-day free trial, which you can get an extra 7 days if you meet a few milestones. I will promise you this. If you spend an hour and a half with us, we give you a free hour with our support team and a half hour through your onboarding. You're going to be doing business, and I'm going to show you how right now. So let's build a script. There's a few ways. I can go in here and I can do it as a new script, but I like to do it this way. Remember that AI learns your persona. So the more you do, the more you talk to your AI, the more you work with your AI, the more it learns who you are and how you work. So it knows me pretty well, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. Create me a script for infinite banking that is funny, engaging, and yet powerful, using assumptive presumptive language that moves people towards a meeting with me. So now, what I'm going to do is while it does this, it's going to build, it'll take maybe 30 to 45 seconds. I'm going to show you this is, it's going to have a call script, again, opening, and it's going to have a talking points. And then what we'll do is we'll have objections, and then we can even leave a voicemail. Okay. And what it does is now this will then call. So what I'm going to do is, and once we get a script, we can call somebody. We won't be able to do that today. I do that we do that in onboarding or demos, but call yourself. So I can go over here to dashboard and I can do a test call. And so now let's look at my script real quick. I've drafted a high energy, funny, and assumptive script for your infinite banking. CEO of your own bank is kind of the angle it takes. So here's my script. Opening, main, and again, I'm less worried about the words, right? I mean, we can go through this, but essentially, I'm going to just show you it. I'm just skimming to see if it does my return people officially, blah, blah, blah. It's a total math win. A little too dry for my taste. So instead of that, I'm going to say, you know what? It's not bad, but it's not spicy enough. Let's spice this up. Now, what I'm doing, of course, in this case, is I'm trying to spice it up in the sense of showing you that I can make a global change to the script. Once I've made a global change, it's going to come back and it's going to ask me to approve again, and then I will go ahead and approve. But to show you this, here's my scripts, and then what we'll do is we'll make this my default script. So now once it comes back, and then while that's happening, I can then run a campaign. Okay, so now we go, I've dialed it up. A bank slayer, there we go. Now we have a little more crazy language. So I'm calling because I decided today was the day we finally stopped letting the banks treat your savings account like your personal piggy bank. And I like that opening. That's actually kind of cool. Anyway, what we'll do here is it has objection handling, system instructions, and all of this, all I need to do is approve. And it will show up over here. There it is, spicy. There's my spicy one. So now, within say 3 minutes, I've now created a actual script, and I can now call. I can edit it. I can type right in here and edit it. I can do whatever I want. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to go back to dashboard. I'm going to create a campaign. How easy is it to create a campaign? Well, remember, and we uploaded your files through a CSV during the onboarding. That's actually done automatically through AI, and we'll upload those leads. So now I'm going to create a campaign. Go ahead and name it Todd, right, or something like that. But here's my voice. I'm going to use default George in this case, or we'll come up with Todd AI. Select my script. Well, I've got that new script right there. So there it is, Spicy Infinite Banking. We're going to do it in English. I've got other languages. But here's an interesting thing. If you recorded your voice in Spanish or Urdu or Igbo or Mandarin, it will speak those languages to your client. And that's pretty wild. All I now need to do is a CSV upload, a lead list, or I can select leads, and boom, if I hit publish, we will be calling those clients with your voice in 30 minutes. And it will be having a conversation. Now, within 7 minutes, we built that. Now I can go and do, let's assume you have a booking link. You're using Calendly, but if you don't, you can use a booking link. But now I'm going to go build you an automation. What is the automation is the heart of everything. This is where we can do a whole lot of work for us or have it done for us. And this is where we're going to flip the script for all of you. And that is, instead of you calling and booking meetings and pulling clients to you, what if the software was in a position where it could book the meetings for you and you could go play golf or do whatever you do and have fun and come back and have a bunch of meetings? That actually happened to a client this week. He missed a couple meetings because he didn't believe it would work that quickly, and he had a meeting the very next day. So anyway, we're going to build you an automation. This will take about a minute. It's the longest thing we show. And I'm going to just tell it now. Build me an automation for infinite banking that follows with my crazy script that I just built. I want Agent AI, email, and SMS, and these are 2-week-old leads that you're going to be warming up and getting ready to have a meeting with me. So what we do now is we just tell it that instead of going in and doing all this weird stuff, I'm going to just, whoops, I got to stop. Sorry, I had thought I had stopped. Well, once you do that, I'm going to delete the stuff I just said at the end there so it doesn't get, there we go. I'm going to delete this. All right, and I'm going to hit enter. Let's go ahead and let that build. So now while that's building a workflow, here's what you would have to do if you were building your own. Plus sign. I'm going to go over here and say, all right, I'm going to do a AI outbound call. I've got to program it, and then I can save the action and I can build my workflow. Most people don't use the workflows. Most CRMs have workflows, but most people will say either I'm going to pay a lot of money to do it, which is where Salesforce made a whole lot of money, or they're going to just say, it's too much work. I'd rather just phone call them. So now let me show you what this does. When this comes back, it's going to be pretty wild. So in the meantime, we don't let you, so if you do the trial, I'm going to be giving you a link here in a few minutes. And if you do the trial, what we'll promise you this is that you can be doing business in less than 2 hours, if not 90 minutes, and we're not going to leave you alone. We have a support center where you can book a follow-up meeting for support. You can have a help center where we have a ton of videos. And we also have an affiliate program where if you like the software, we can actually pay you for sending us leads. So now, by the way, we also have a leads program, which I'll be talking about in a minute. So now we got our AI outbound call. It decided to call this lead to warm them up. They are a 2-week-old lead, gauge their interest in infinite banking on tax-free wealth. And that right there would have taken somebody probably 3 or 4 hours. That's if they knew what they were doing. So now I got an SMS. It's even recommended the language. Infinite banking is a powerful way to, become your own bank. So I'm going to show you something is it built this all out, but now let me show you a live working workflow. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to show you one more thing, by the way, because I'm going to do this. It's now 10 minutes into the meeting and we built a workflow. So I have my automation. We just finished it. It's this one right here. All I need to do now is turn this on and I'm going to go to my contacts. We'll go to that leads that my old contacts leads that I loaded up. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and choose all of them. I'll go into the automation as my computer is deciding to be slow. There we go. And I'm going to select that infinite banking warm up right there. There's the lead, add to automation. As soon as I add to automation, this is going to start texting, emailing, and calling people within 1 minute. And the way I know that is I can go into here and see the enrollment once that actually happens, my logs, etc. So that's how you can build and get and do business within 10 minutes once your software is basically set up. And that kind of shows you how we can get business. I've actually done onboarding with people and had them doing business in a half hour. Okay. It is possible. Now, is it daunting? A little bit. I mean, there's a lot going on here. However, if you're not really sure what to do, we have the support, as I mentioned, but we also have 3 dots. The 3 dots are where you can come over and it says, I don't know what to do next. And it'll literally go back and look at what's going on and it'll tell you what to do next. So for instance, a really cool thing is you go into your contacts. I was going to show you this anyway. You have your contacts. If I go into, let's just go into one contact. I have a lot of contacts in here that are, there we go, binding it up. Brandon, let's go into Brandon. Okay, once the computer comes back. Let me send the link, by the way, while I'm at it, and you can start dropping some questions into the chat box, and I'm going to be stopping here in about probably 5 more minutes. Anyway, here is the, for questions. We'll have the last 10 minutes for questions. Here is all the information. On the right-hand side, I can call, quote, I can do all this information. I have everything. I do their scope of appointment. I can keep all their documents. We'll actually do the back and forth with them. And I can even do a quote from here, which is what I wanted to show you. But once these policies are all in here, I can put them in an automation from right here, and it'll show all the communications. But if I go to a quote, let's just do a Medicare Advantage. I'll do a life quote. And we can go into the life quote like this. We look at this, but what if I could do this? I'm going to go into AI quoting, and I'm going to do a life quote through AI. This is bold, right? Let's do GUL for, let's do a whole life for 250,000. As far as the question on the AI audio, I'd love to, and we're working on that. But right now, it's not our audio. It's that when I'm on a Zoom, my phone won't call out. In my system, anyway, it's something we have to fix. So I apologize. And I'm going to show you the leads, by the way. So I will be able to show you the leads. And yes, you want to upload a lead of T65, I'll show you. We can do that. So now here's a quote. It wants more information, etc. And then once I have this, I'm going to have a quote. Um, James, that is a great suggestion. I had never thought of that. Thank you. I'm going to create one. Um, I will do that today. Thank you. And then they can play it for you guys. That's wonderful. And what we want to do is I want to be able to call one of you during this meeting. That's what I really want to do. Anyway, we now can get a quote directly, but I wanted to show you leads. That was actually where I was going to go next anyway, is we have underwriting, policy analyzer, ACA marketplace, Medicare marketplace. We can go in here and we can do a quote for Medicare, et cetera. We can actually enroll through Health Sherpa. Leads. We sell leads. We know that you want to upload these leads, so let me show you what you can do. If you go in, you can pick your states. I can pick my zip codes, counties. Let's say I want to do Medicare Advantage and ACA both, or maybe I'm just doing one or the other. And oh, by the way, I can do, let's take away the ACA, and I can do my T65. Okay, so turning 65 this year. And if you already have one of these, then that's what we can do too, right? We can actually upload that, and you can take your leads. So we continue to check out. They cost 20 cents. What are they? They're internet scraped leads, and they're effectively leads that we get from the carriers. They're carrier cast-offs and carrier click-offs. So the carrier hasn't followed up with them. They were filled out on the website, so they've given consent, and we just scrape them off the internet and we'll sell them to you for 20 cents. We want you to feed our system right here. Okay, and that's the real goal here. So now a couple of quick things at the end here. We have commissions. One of the things that a lot of people don't have is ability to track and collate all their commissions. So what we do is we have we have the ability to go in and upload your entire book of business. We can also evaluate your book of business, like how much it's worth, etc. But you go into retrieve. And let me just show this and then I'll get to the question. Retrieve, and right here you sign into your carrier. Once you sign into your carrier, you're going to get a defined monthly or defined daily. They're going to download your all of your commissions for your LOAs, your overrides, everything you've gotten in your agency. And then we can also do all the way to payroll, by the way. This is good enough to run you the if then else rules all the way to payroll. So yes, there will be a replay, and we'll also have it available on the prospects list. Don't we have to have a constant? Yeah, you have to have consent, and we have consent on the leads because they filled out a public form. So yes, you do have consent. We cover you, and I'll tell you, that's a really, by the way, James, it's a great question because at the end of the day, your your business is on the line, but ours is too. And so we tell you that they're exclusive and they are legal, and you can call them. And then we keep you legal. By the way, that's the other thing I'll show you. We do keep you legal with the TCPA and 10 DLC. So you could run your payroll here, right? And you could do anything you want with with your commission. So for instance, how many of you reconcile with your bank account? Yeah, a lot of us want to, but we don't always do it. And then we trust the carriers. I've been around long enough to know that that's probably not the greatest idea. So what we'll do is we can actually go into your bank account. We don't go into there, by the way. That sounds creepy. We'll connect you up with your bank account, and we can do the reconciliation on a monthly basis or weekly basis. Make sure that your carriers are paying you. But even more is we can go in and say, every month I want you to run a status to make sure that my carriers have not only paid me, but if there's a problem, I want to know why they didn't pay me, and then send an email to them to request payment. So our goal here is to automate as much as possible. Um, we have last couple things I'll kind of show, and then we have a full phone system. We get you the number. We actually pay for your number for the life of your contract with us. There's no contract, by the way. You can also we'll keep you ATP legal right through here, and we have a DNC list, etc. This one hasn't been enabled yet. I just opened this one today for demo purposes. The other thing I'll show you is and then I'm going to open it up in 2 minutes, is that unLocked CRM, everything I showed you is $149 a month. Everything I showed you is $149. There's no hidden costs other than the wallet that I talked about, right? There is some fees for your Twilio number to be able to make phone calls and emails. It's like a penny a text. And those just want to keep track of, but essentially they're going to be way cheaper than if you call people yourself or pay somebody to call them. So everything I showed you is 149. Agencies, we have a 247, and then for 69, that's without the AI. Okay. The last thing I'll kind of show here is if you go to the affiliate program, I'm going to go to agency management, excuse me. The affiliate program will pay you if you bring somebody. I already mentioned that. So this is agency management. We can do lead round robin for agents, for an agency. We can also add agents where you can then give them access, feature permissions, etc. What you're thinking about here is that I can now bring all of my team into a leaderboard. I can look at my entire pipeline from my wall, and I can find out how much business I'm actually doing. Retention workflows, right? Things like that. So a lot of it is all about how can I run my business more efficiently and how can I grow it? But at the end of the day, and all of you are listening, I appreciate your time. I'm going to open it up for questions in a minute. I'll tell you this in closing is this. Instead of us calling, the biggest fear and the biggest reason that I didn't really do as successful as I could have is because I hated calling people. I was a great closer when I had someone in the room with me who was actually interested in hearing what I had to say. So the seed methodology that we use through the drip program is exactly that. And that's what we're trying to do is instead of going out and me having to call everybody, why not we just set up a bunch of meetings for you? All right. So yes, it works for business owners. Absolutely, James. And Fernando, there's there's a paid CRM and then paid leads at $200 a month. With 250 leads, I challenge you to find a better deal. And there's especially with all the AI, because think of it this way: any other application you use is going to take probably 2 hours, or sorry, 2 days to set up. So 5 hours, we're going to get you going in less than 2 hours. The AI can make as many outbound calls as you are willing to pay for. And what I mean by that is we do, because of voice over IP, we can do as many as 20 an hour. 20 an hour. What am I saying? 20 at a time. We can do as many as you can basically, feed into the system. Okay. And yes, like I said, we do business owners. Let's see. None of the leads are older than 90 days. In fact, they're put on there that says that they're 1 to 5 weeks old, depending on what you request. And we actually can do business owner leads too, by the way, and PNC leads. Let's see what else we got here. Can we make it use it? Oh yeah, I use a Zoom all the time. Let me show you right here in integrations. All of your meetings will connect you with Google Meet, Zoom, Calendly, whatever you need there. And if I don't answer your question, by the way, please jump, make sure you redo it. No, you don't. And yeah, you can actually have them do that. Let me see, the number is showing on phone and name as well. So Justin, maybe rephrase your question. I'm not sure I understand it. The cost for 250 leads is $47 or $49. Might be 47. It's we go to this page right here. There it is, 47 a month for 250 leads, 6 to 7 weeks old. And then if you want the newest leads, you go a little bit higher, right? And yes, James, that is exactly the point right here. In essence, what I'm saying is you could be going out and playing golf and come back and have a bunch of meetings set up for you. Okay. And that's my goal. And it changes the conversation because now you're co-creating. They're in with you. So I'm going to just be blunt with anybody. If you're worried about price, you're thinking about this in the wrong way. And I mean that backwards. You're thinking about it as in, this is going to cost me this much. At 150 or even $200 a month, if you close one deal, you've paid for it. One more deal than you're currently closing, it's $500 or more, you've paid for it easily. So let me just see. I could have, yes. Are the leads mixed? They are not mixed. They are specific to you. For if you're new to Medicare, we can actually make it so that it's specific to you, to what you're looking for. We do not do, Nick. We don't do PNC quoting yet. We do plan to have that by midsummer. Okay, but we can do everything else for the PNC. So AI calling his names. Oh yeah, I got you now. And so what happens on the calling is, let me show you. Is we go to unlocked AI. Sorry, my bad. Phone system. Um, and we have this thing called Call Identity AI, and it puts your picture here. I just haven't uploaded my picture. It says your name, where you're from, and this is how you can get through some of the spam capabilities. Hopefully that, Justin, that answers your question. Can we specify the type of business owner lead? Absolutely, John. Absolutely. Either by number of employees or maybe by industry. Definitely. You can also do, for instance, in a county or a zip code or even a city, you can say, I want all the business owners in San Juan or wherever you're at, that are under 100 employees and that don't have any obvious healthcare insurance currently. I mean, that may be hard to tell, but you get where I'm going. Let me see. So if they answer the phone, the AI is attempting to set an appointment for me to go live with them, correct? Yes, you can do either or, by the way. And yes, it has a conversation. It can qualify the lead. So for instance, if they call up and the incoming AI, Arwen, as well as the outgoing AI, can actually have a conversation. They can say, so for instance, if I go back to my script, or I can go to this script, send this here. Here's my spicy. We'll view it. Is I'm calling because, and then the main script is it will have a conversation. It's going to talk to them, it's going to say, and then it's going to close based on what that conversation is. What's the close? The close is either a meeting with you or they're just a looky-loo and they weren't really ready. And then it says, when you're ready, contact us. The leads are, yeah, I'll show you the cost real quick. I'll leave that up there right now. So Marcella, the leads are warm in the sense that they are interested in what you want. So for instance, if you're doing Medicare, you're doing healthcare, or even PNC, you're doing business, they're interested in Medicare business. They're in other words, they're interested in what you're selling them, and they've given their consent to do that. And so the AI is not cold calling, it's actually calling or emailing or texting someone who said, I am interested. And that does change the algorithm a little bit. Hope that helps, Marcella. Um, will I be responsible for setting up integration by myself, or do you have someone assist? We have an hour. Let me go there. It's everybody gets an hour of our time with a figure that support center. Once you go through our self-service onboarding, you'll get an onboarding call right here. You'll get an hour with our person, and we'll help you set up. Okay, and we'll help you get it all set up. As far as Chris, I've found that they don't. In fact, a client that just got those 10 meetings, he had a list of 50 people that he had the AI call, and he said that 46 of them actually answered, and he ended up with 8 meetings out of it, which is really wild. So what we've actually found is a little bit different. It's not like it's a lot more, but it's slightly more, mainly because they're curious, but it also doesn't look like a robocall, which is why we're getting through a little bit more. And yes, it absolutely works for Medicare, life, and ancillary. The quote engine absolutely works for all of those. We in the quote engine, we go to quoting. We can do life. We're going to do an annuity soon. Medicare. We can do private plans, vision, hair, health, and dental, vision, health, things like that. Yes, the AI can talk to 20 prospects at a time. Absolutely. And then by the way, the AI could be talking to 20 prospects while you're on the phone with another, while somebody calls in and the incoming AI handles it. Voice over IP handles all of that for you. So the conversation will be handled by the rep who will run the show. These are too many questions we'll ask. Oh, yes. If there are too many questions, we will ask to get info for our quote. So they will, let me show you something. I'm not sure I'm going to ask this the right way, Justin, but I'm going to show you something interesting. We have a custom client portal. And on this one, I don't have access to it, client portal. But the client portal allows them to actually answer their own question. Get their own quote on your page. And Amber, you can go ahead and unmute.
Yeah,
We, yeah, go ahead, Amber.
I was going to ask about the appoint, uh, yeah, ask about the preset appointments. You answered it. That's all.
Okay, no problem. I want to make sure I captured you. So the conversations will be handled. Uh, yeah, the rep can actually do a quote directly to the conversation. But think of it this way: the AI is going to move them towards a meeting with you. The whole goal is to move them towards a meeting with you, but also to educate them so that they're curious. Because I don't want them to just to be in a meeting with you. I want them to be in the meeting with you and curious about what you have to show them. Because then your close rate goes through the roof. And yes, the 197 a month in that sense would include all the AI and all the prospect list of 250. And then as far as appointments for annuities, we do have, if you're interested, you can email me directly. We have our own IMO. We can get appointments for annuities or life. We don't do FMO stuff. And
What
then as
about
far as
ACA? ACA.
about what, sorry?
Do you guys do ACA?
Oh, yes, we do. Yeah. And then I think the last question I'm going to answer here is there an additional cost for the phone? I do want to answer that because it is through Twilio. It's not something that we have any control over. But if we go into settings and go into wallet or billing and then go into usage rates. So every SMS costs a penny. Every outbound SMS is a penny and a third. Each email is 5 emails per penny. And then the cost or the outbound call is 2 cents a minute. Inbound is a second a minute, penny a minute. And this is the big one, is 10 cents a minute. Now, think of it this way though, 10 cents a minute, we could cap it at 5 minutes. They're usually 2 to 3 or 4 minutes at most. And that's 50 cents at most that you're going to be spending for a call. And if they book a meeting, that's worth a whole lot more. So anyway, thank you so much. I hope you sign up for the trial. That is the goal. It's just I want you to try it. My book that you see behind me is all about the only way to learn anything is to do it yourself. And so I just encourage you to go give the software a try. And I thank you so much for your time. Bye bye. If you have an upline, by the way, provides a CRM, one of them will have to be trashed. Sorry, that's just the way it is. But yeah, I know that how that works because I used to be that way. Everybody take care. Bye bye.